This is a Jmix exclusive.
Was the East versus West Coast beef, was it real?
I think aspects of it were real. I don't believe when it was going down, when I was in the thick of it, when we were traveling from hotel to hotel, when we were going back east to New York to do the Saturday Night Live thing. At the time, I thought it was really real. But in hindsight, some of the things don't seem too real to me now. In other words, I think people like Suge Knight and Puffy Combs, I think they really knew what was going on. And I mean, nowadays things are coming to light, like Puffy had bodyguards because he was scared of Suge, and he might have put a hit on somebody. But realistically, I don't think they were too worried about each other. Because I remember when we went to go to Saturday Night Live in New York, you know, everybody's on point. Everybody's talking about we're in New York. We're in enemy territory. Yet we're at Benihana's kicking it on the town. We're all having snowball fights in the middle of the street. And, you know, we're having fun in New York. When we're supposed to, when all before that we were getting coached up on how we should all be on point. But once we got there, it was just like we were on a big vacation having fun. So that kind of threw me like, okay, whoever they know more than they're letting on. But yeah, in Tupac's mind, once he said fuck New York, I believe he meant it. Like I said, he was in awe of a lot of New York rappers. Those were his idols. But once he signed up with Death Row, he was like, fuck them, and I mean it. I think Tupac, I don't know if he felt threatened by any East Coast rappers. I don't know if he felt like the war really was dangerous to him, but I knew that he was riding 100%, meaning he was down to be enemies with whoever to show his loyalty to Death Row and Suge Knight. And you know that was apparent. And when I said remind me to talk about Mopreme, he's the one who really made me understand it, because I had known when I went to work there, I had known the history of Chris Wallace, Biggie. I had known the history. You know, Tupac would tell me how he used to go to parties. They were just like ragtag dudes trying to make money, doing a quick show at a party here, show at a party there. And in New York, when Tupac was cutting his bones, he would get invited to shows, you know, New York, Miami, whatever, and they weren't concerned with Biggie. He was nobody then. But he was one of Tupac's boys, and Tupac put him on. So Tupac got him shows. Tupac got him acknowledgement. Tupac paved the way for what Biggie did. And I think part of Tupac's personality, and I don't know if I could say it's a Gemini thing. I know my favorite artist in the world is a guy named Prince. And he kind of was the same way, where he wanted his cronies to blow up, but he didn't want anybody to get bigger than him. You know, like he had the time and he had the Vanity 6, and as soon as Morris Day started getting big, he had to chop him down. And I see Tupac the same way, where soon as Biggie got big, he was a threat, or if he didn't create him, he felt like he didn't want him to be bigger than him. And that's something that Mo kind of pointed out to me. He knew that Tupac had love for Biggie, and that well, I really can't speak for Mo, but it has been said in circles that where Tupac had that beef, Tupac might not have really thought that Biggie shot him or had him shot.
I've heard a rumor that Big actually hid a gun for him in a piano that night.
For the guys who robbed him?
No, that Tupac had one of Tupac's guns. That Big had hid it for him when the police and ambulance showed up and returned it to him.
Oh, okay.
Is there any truth to that? Do you know?
I've never heard that story. That's something I could have asked Tupac, and he would have told me straight up. But I think at that point there was the facade going on that Biggie was the culprit, and I mean, it's kind of weird because Tupac is thought of as this great genius, and he's this, you know, he's this philosophical guy with all this wisdom, which he was, and he was very dope. He was very good, but there were some things where he just winged, man. He just said the most exciting thing at the time, the most interesting thing at the time, and I've seen it. I've seen him say things and just that came out of nowhere. And now, could Biggie have set him up? Yes. Could Puffy have set him up? Yes. Could it just been some shit that made Tupac feel better to say they did it, instead of making him look weak, made him look, I don't know. I can't speak. I can't say what it was, but you know, there might be some truth to the fact that the beef was not based on real facts. But I know it sold a lot of records.
That's what I was going to ask. It's your opinion if it was more based on record sales than it was actual animosity.
I think it started off as animosity. Started off as somebody mad that they got shot and needed someone to blame it on, and people like Suge Knight and Puffy Combs saw gold in it, and they both have their media assassins, Papa G from Death Row and whoever they had in Bad Boy, set that thing on fire. And the media didn't know what to do. You know, they'll take when something is new to them, they'll take whatever they're given.
This is a Jmix exclusive.
What up, shut up?